Hi everyone, welcome to the iSpring Solutions webinar series where every week we talk about learning trends, share iSpring tips and tricks, and cover clients' cases. My name is Nadia, I'm a community manager at iSpring, and I will be the moderator for today's session. And today's webinar is dedicated to iSpring Suite Max. And to understand this topic, I invited my colleague Nancy. Hi Nancy, how are you doing today?
Hello, everyone. Hi, Nadia. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. And how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great and very excited about today's presentation. I am more than ready to pass the mic over to you, Nancy, to start the presentation.
So, hello, everyone. My name is Nancy. I'm a project manager at iSpring, and I will be presenting for you today. Today, we are going to talk about new features in iSpring Suite Max that you can use right now to make the e-learning process even more fascinating. Let's take a quick look at recently released features. If you have learners in different countries, now you can quickly translate quizzes, interactions, and dialogue simulations into multiple languages. You no longer need to replace text manually in each block. The next feature is a new text toolbar in iSpring Space. Now you can make your texts look exactly the way you want them to look. For example, you can choose the color of the text and the background, and also change the font size and alignment. The new toolbar also includes 4 buttons that allow you to work on the headings and the quotes. Now you can also share materials with attachments quickly and easily. Just add attachments in Page, so you can attach Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF documents. Also in iSpring Space, the same quiz can now be edited by several people at the same time. In the same way that your team can work in Google Docs, you can invite your colleagues to create quizzes together with you. For instance, while you are building questions, your colleagues can work on a design and adding pictures. That way, you can create learning content and assign it to your employees in record time. Before we move on, I'd like to know if you already taken advantage of these new features. Nadia, could you please launch a poll so our attendees can share their experience with us? All right, I can see that many of you haven't tried these features yet, so this will be a great chance to see how they work. To do this, we'll create a training module on types of training modules that would be delivered as a part of an onboarding program for newly hired course offers working in the educational department. Let's assume that we've already conducted our training needs analysis, identified our learning objectives, and have a topic to be covered in our module. It will consist of 2 parts. The first part will be an interactive article, and the second part will be a quiz, so we can check our learners' knowledge. To do this, we are going to use iSpring Space. Let me quickly open it. All right. This is an online iSpring platform where you can create interactive articles and quizzes, collaborate with your colleagues on projects, and publish e-learning content there to share it with your end users. To create an interactive article, we need to click on Create here and then select Page. I already prepared an article in Google Docs, so I will just copy and paste the text. And we will start by adding the title of the article. Let me quickly copy and paste it. So it will be types of training modules. And I will also rename the name of my article right here. Next, let's add a cover image to make the article look more attractive. To do this, I will click on Add Cover Image here and then select one of the pictures from my computer and click on Open. Then, under Preferences, we can change the color and the opacity to customize our background. So, for example, I will use the blue color and change the opacity to 50%. All right. Then I'm moving to the introduction part. So I want to tell my learners what a training module is. So I will copy and paste the text. Now let's select it and see what we can do with the text here. First of all, we can change the style of the text and select one of those mentioned here. So it can be regular text, header 1, header 2, or we can make this text as a quote. So there are two types of quote, how we can format it. And also we can do this like a bulleted list or ordered list. So in my case, it will be header number 1. Next, we can change the font size here. So I think that this font size is pretty okay. And also I can make this text bold, italic, underlined, or I can also add a hyperlink here if needed. Also, we can change the color of the text and the background color, or we can just clear formatting. And the last thing that we can do with the text, we can change the alignment and align this text on the left, in the center, or on the right. Okay, now let's move on to the first paragraph. I will copy the text and paste it here. So as you can see, I already have a hyperlink here to another course, which is how to create online course. So if I have this link in my Google Docs, I can just copy and paste it here and the link will be saved. So also I wanted to emphasize one phrase here, that each module is like a chapter of a book. To do this, I will need to select this text and then I want to make it as a quote. I'm selecting the text and then select quote 2. So it will help my learners to make more attention on this phrase. All right, so now let's copy the rest of the text for this chapter. And also here I want to add a picture. To do this, I will click on plus here and select image. So I will select the image with the course structure so my learners can better understand how the regular course look like. All right, so and here I would also like to add a description of this text. So let me quickly copy it as well. In this case, my learners will have better understanding of what they see. Right, and I need to copy another paragraph here to finish with this chapter. All right, it looks like we are done with the introduction. So now let's move to the next part. To do this, I will create a new chapter here. First, I will copy and paste the title. And here I'm going to talk about informational e-course. So I will copy the first paragraph. All right, and here I have a phrase that I want to emphasize for my learners. So I will make it blue right here. Okay. So, and then I will add a picture to show how regular information course look like. To do this, I will click on plus and select image and select the second image here. All right. And next, I will add the information about what kind of training this type of content is suited for. So to do this, I will copy and paste the text and it will be header number 2. And I also want to make this text bold. Next, I will copy the text of the cases where we can use this type of training. And it will work well if we will do this as a bulleted list, like here. Okay. And next, I'm going to add a tutorial video on how to create courses quickly. I can add links from YouTube, Vimeo, or another open source platform. To do this, I will click on plus and select video. Let me quickly copy the link to one of our courses and put it here. Alright, so your users will be able to watch this video both in the article itself on our iSpring Space platform or where it's hosted, so for example on YouTube in my case. And also please make sure that this video is available to the public. Alright, next I will create the next chapter in the same exact way. Then I will copy and paste the text. Here we will talk about interactive assessment. So I will add some description here, then add a picture as I did before. Okay. And then I will tell about some cases where we can use this type of training. So I will make it as a header number 2 as well and make it bold. And then I will copy and paste this bulleted list and put it here. All right. So, and also here, we can add an exercise so that our users can practice before the final quiz. To do this, we'll click on plus and select exercise. Here we need to type our question and add possible answers. I also will copy and paste them here. Just one moment. All right, here it is. Okay, and once I'm done, I can click on done. And this exercise will be placed here. But please let me know that the exercises are not graded and can be used only for training purposes. All right, now we will create a chapter about the third type of content, which is video lectures and screencasts. So I will click on the plus to add a new chapter and then add the title of this chapter. And here I will have two headers. The first one will be about the video lecture. So I will make it as a header 1 and also make it bold. And another one will be about screencasts. Okay. And I also make it as a header 1 and make it bold. So next I'm going to copy the text that will describe this type of content with a hyperlink on how to create such type of videos. And then I will add a picture how this looks like. And then, as I did before, I will add some cases where you can use this type of content. I will also make it as a header too and make it bold. Then I will copy and paste the bulleted list with the cases. And now let's move on to the screencast. Actually, I will do exactly the same thing here. I will add a description and I will add an image, how usually screencast looks like. And then I will add these cases where we can use it. Right, I have three other types of training materials that I would like to cover in this article, but just to save time, I'll create new chapters in the same exact way as I did them and actually copy and paste the text. All right, So now we are more than ready to move on to the next chapter and create it. So now I would like to add a conclusion to our article. To do this, I will click on Add Chapter and add a summary to recap the information of my article. So I will copy and paste the text here. And here I also want to emphasize the information that training is never a one and done experience. So I'll copy it and make it as a quote too, as I did before. All right. And I also want to add a sample presentation that my users can use as a template and download right from the article. So I will add the information about this and then click on plus to add the attachment. I'll click on attachment and then I will need to find it on my desktop and attach to my article. Once you are done with the article, you can preview it by clicking on preview and see how your article will look on different devices. So for example, here's how it will look on computer. You can also try the tablet mode and see how your users will see this article on their tablets or on their mobile phones, like this. All right. So, and now let's see what we can also do here. First of all, we can add collaborators. So, for example, I can add my team members and we can work together on creating articles. To do this, I will need to click on Add Collaborators and select users from the list. I can also set access rights for my collaborates who can only view or comment or edit this article. So next, let's look at the settings. Here I can adjust the accent color and also choose fonts for headings and body text. Under additional settings, we can adjust the order of the chapters, making them free or restricted, and also enable or disable chapter numbering, button to move to the next chapter, and also disable text selection and copying. Once you're done with the settings, just click Save and Close to move on to the main screen. So also here we have a share button. By switching this toggle, we can make this content public. You can just copy this link and send it to your end users. And by using this link, they will be able to view your content right in iSpring Space. They don't need to log in because they will have this access only by using this link. Other than that, you can use embed code in case if you would like to add this presentation to your website. Also, you can change the title here, change the color of the covered image, and also choose the text color. But make sure that they match each other. So next we are going to click on Close. And the last thing that we can do here is that we can export our project. So you can do this to export it in SCORM 1.2 or SCORM 2004 or Experience API formats in order to upload it to your LMS for further distribution. And also here, you can select the required number of chapters that your users have to see in order for the course to be completed. So you can select all of them or just some of them. And then click on Close or export in case if you would like to export this page. In this case, it will be saved on your computer in the following format. As I said, SCORM 1.2, SCORM 2004, or Experience API. All right. So, and now we are more than ready to move on to the next part of our webinar and see how quickly we can translate quizzes. To do this, I will open my iSpring Quiz Maker with a quiz that I have already prepared. So it looks like this. And by using this quiz, I would like to check my learners' knowledge about different types of training modules. So, but as you know, companies with departments in different countries need their e-learning content to be available in a variety of languages. Now, with iSpring Suite Max, you can save time and effort by automating this process. You no longer need to copy and paste text for each question manually. iSpring Suite Max will do this automatically. There are just a few steps to this process, including exporting a text quiz, translating quiz using a translation management platform, importing translation back into iSpring Suite, and then letting the tool replace your previous text with a new one. Let's go through the steps one by one. And first of all, we need to click on Translation and then select Export Text. You need to choose the language that your existing quiz is written in. So in my case, it's English. And then click on Export. The file will be exported in XLIF format. Then we need to select the file where it will be stored. So for example, I will select my desktop and then click on Save. This file will contain all of the text that was in my quiz. Now it's time to translate the text. To do this, we need to upload our XLIF document to a translation management platform, such as Crowdin or SmartCat. Let me quickly open them. The translation process is fairly similar on the old platform, but let's use Crowdin to translate the text as an example. This platform has a 14-day free trial, so you can try it out after the webinar. So now let's create a project to work with by selecting the plus button over here. Next, we need to name our project. It can be any unique name. So, and then we need to select the target language. So, for example, I will try German and select it. And then we need to click on Create Project. Okay, now we need to upload the file with the text from iSpring Suite Max. To do this, we'll need to click on Add File and find it on my desktop and click on Open. Then we need to click on the Home button here and select the language you want to translate your text into and click on it. Okay. So now you will see a translation bar on the left. Add a translation for each question, answer, and buttons from your text. If you translate a large volume of text, you can use suggestions given by the translation generation down here, and then click on Save. You can select the most appropriate phrase here or just enter your own translation. Once you finish with the phrases, click on the Focus menu here and download the XLIF file. Just to save time for this session, I already translated all the text in the same way and downloaded the XLIF file. Now it's time to bring our translation back into iSpring Suite Max. To do this, I will need to click on Translation and then Import Text. Then I will need to click on Browse to find my translation and click on Open. So here you also have a warning that the current text will be replaced with the translation. So if you need to keep the original text, make a copy first. Now we are ready to import the text. And then you will have this pop-up message that says that translation is ready. And as you can see, all of the text has been translated into German. All right, so that's all that I've got for you for today's webinar. I hope it was helpful for you. And now we are more than ready to move on to the Q&A session.
Everyone have is crowding a part of iSpring Suite Max.
Unfortunately not. So Crowdin is a translation platform and it also has 14-day trial period, but it's a different service. You can use this for the translation or you can use some other services. So it's actually up to you, but it's not a part of iSpring Suite Max.
Gary is curious what translation services are compatible with iSpring and how much do they cost. I think that we don't have cost a panel about translation services, but can you please tell us what are compatible with iSpring?
You can use any services that allow you to export the XLIF 1.2 format because iSpring is compatible with XLIF format.
I missed a question from Mark. Sorry. In iSprint Space, when you add the cover image on a page, the resolution of the image seems to impact how it appears, sometimes too big for image space. Is there a way to scale the image in the space, or you have to edit the image file outside iSpring and import them?
So actually, there is no editor in iSpring Space, so you can edit it
All right, thank you so
in
much.
some other softwares locally on your computer and then upload it here. So only one thing we have here is like the opacity, so that you can just make this background picture as a blue, black, or one of these colors and select opacity. So, but talking about resolution, yes, I'm afraid that you have to edit it somewhere outside of iSpring.
And I think that was the last question for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today and spending that valuable hour with us. I hope you have enjoyed our today's session. And bye, everyone.